So I thought I'd take a moment and just talk about seeing wildlife when you're outdoors. Sometimes you bring like a classroom out and you never see anything. The woods can just seem dead, even though it's full of life, obviously. You can just go out and not see anything. When I usually start a nature class, the very first class is kind of elaborating on this subject of how we can go from one frame of mind, one mode to another mode. A teacher I used to listen to, he would use the phrase, the natural state. And he would say that some of the experiences that people, that when they meditate and stuff, they're chasing these experiences, when really they're just trying to go back to the natural state, sort of the way we are supposed to be. Now in modern land, you are in a very linear point A to point B accomplishment, story mode based mind. We have schedules, we're on the clock, you're organizing your life by the hour. That's how we coordinate with each other. When you're going somewhere, you're going from point A to point B. It's about the travel, it's not about the experience. And so when I start a nature class, the very first class is to just kind of do a very simple meditation, and often it's the first time a lot of these people have meditated. Even the coworkers weren't really experienced with calming themselves down, going back into what we can call a natural state. In the Buddhist tradition, the historical Buddha is said to have told his students that the one practice that could take you from beginner to master is just noticing the breath, noticing the in-breath and the out-breath. And there's a lot of qualities to that. Feel the breath going in, you can feel the tension in the different parts of your musculature and your core, your diaphragm, your throat. You'll often find there's a lot of restrictions as we're going from that point A to point B mode in our regular life. We're very tense and we're not very conscious of it. So just noticing the qualities of the breathing. You don't really have to change anything, especially as you develop this practice. Often the tensions that you notice will automatically start to undo themselves. But if you'd like to encourage that process, you can focus on trying to breathe in a little bit deeper, breathe out a little bit more fully, and very quickly you will reset your neurology. You'll go from the fight or flight dominant mode to more of a rest, digest, awareness mode. This is where we learn the best. This is where we problem solve. And if you just kind of sit and kind of just give in to gravity, let yourself breathe, and not need to go anywhere. I think I was sitting out here for just a few minutes when two little chipmunks ran right in front of me, and then I went again and there was a little, it looked like a muskrat, but it could have been a small beaver. We'll have to look at the footage. Just swimming right in front of me. You might be very surprised that just keeping still, just being out there, not chattering, not on your phone, not thinking, and just being with your senses, sense of sound, sense of smell, sense of sight. The wildlife will come back around you. None of it's great. There's a f***ing owl in the middle of the screen there. Okay, so up here's the owl. Over here is a little bastard birdie, basically saying to the rest of the forest, yo guys, f***ing owl. He's looking straight down at me. If you go back to an older video I made, it was called Zen Water Lessons. The idea was to see everything like ripples of water. When I speak with my voice, I'm sending out sound waves. The air is vibrating, so it's like ripples going out. I'm a center point, and as I speak or I crash around the woods, I send ripples of water out so all the other animals are aware of me. If I keep still, I'm not producing any of that noise, any of those ripples. And I can be aware of other animals coming to me. There's some stick cracking over here, so that could be a human, so we might wrap this up soon.
Oh, hey there, young fella.
So I forget where I was, and I think I had 3 things I was going to go over, but super fast rehash. We were talking about getting out of the modern state of mind, our frantic point A to point B, focused, tunnel vision kind of mindset, and getting more into a natural state. And you can just do that with following your breath, keeping still, and starting to go more into your senses. That way we are reversing what normally happens when we go out into the woods and we're just crashing around, thumping, staring at our feet so we don't trip over roots. We're letting everything within a square mile know that we're out there. What the hell is that thing? Roof. No. We surprised like 3 porcupines. This time they were banging. It's okay, little buddy. Looks like a damn Ewok. Come on. Just made his last stand. He doesn't want to get with. The reverse is to just sit in one place, and this really is the best, the most basic. We can talk about how you would move through the forest later, but for just this simple video, it really is just about keeping still. Within a few minutes, I said I already had little squirrels, beaver, some old dude wandered into the woods nearby.
That's a nice muscly throwing arm you got there.
You'd be surprised how quickly things will start coming around you. There's an exercise recommended by Tom Brown Jr. in one of his books. I forget who he cited. I think it was Nathaniel Hawthorne, who described being younger and sitting around a big oak tree or some sort of big tree and just trying to journal everything he saw in one day. And supposedly it went something like he filled a whole book's worth of notes just sitting in front of a tree in one day. That's something that you could try yourself, but just sitting and actually describing what is going on around you. I actually did something similar in a creative writing class once where we had to block off one of our senses, either hearing or sight, and take notes on everything else going on, and you really do fill up a lot fast. I don't know if that microphone picks it up, but there's quite a few different bird calls going on. Out this way I can see the shimmering of the water, gentle breeze. There's some kind of big black egret just over the bank over here. I tried not to encroach on its turf. There's this bird behind me. I could describe the trees and the texture and all that. And in any case, it's just meant to get you into more of an observational mode. This eagle is trying to kill these f***ing ducks. Putting the test to him. Bringing yourself back into the present moment, to your senses, getting to the natural state. It becomes second nature for you. Once you've done it a few times, you'll find that the body has its own rewards for that kind of thing. You're a lot less tense. And in fact, it can make regular life easier. You might have things you've been ruminating on, problems you've been trying to solve, and when your body gets into a nice, relaxed observational state and sheds that fight or flight tension that's usually turned on, you'll find your subconscious seems to untie those mental knots you might be having. So that's about it. I'll wrap this video up. Thank you for watching.